I just wanted to say how honored I am that the Mamazon Fulfillment Center is a part of this.
Although Futurama isn't renowned for its mythology, a joke from season 11 suggests that there was a significant conflict that altered the show's lore during the 1,000-year chronology gap. Futurama features remarkably thorough attention to detail, with some of the scientific components in the show maintaining constant throughout, while being more focused on high-concept sci-fi plots and comedic comedy. Since practically everything introduced to the show has a purpose, it may be assumed that this is the case. So, even though many fans could have missed it, a season 11 joke of Futurama really makes a hint about a huge conflict that might have altered the show's fictional universe. The much-loved sci-fi series Futurama, created by Matt Groening, has returned with the release of season 11 on Hulu. Over 10 years have elapsed since the last episode of Futurama, making the resurrection the first fresh set of episodes since the show's cancellation in 2013. Season 11 of Futurama hasn't overlooked this time gap, with episode 1 of the season concentrating on the changes that have occurred in the show's world while it was last on the air. Futurama Season 11, Episode 5 throws up a far larger chronology conundrum that has far-reaching repercussions, despite the many doubts that have been raised about this little time gap. In the episode related to items you viewed from Futurama Season 11, Fry, Leela, and Bender go to the moon to explore the enormous Mamazon warehouse. While there, the gang encounters a guy who is living outside the warehouse and operating a farm in a mock-tiny southern town. Futurama never explicitly states to what this man's headgear, which says the moon shall rise again, alludes. Although this tagline could just be a joke, if taken seriously, it suggests that Earth and the moon previously engaged in combat in the Futurama world. The hat motto in Futurama Season 11, Episode 5 is obviously parodying the Confederate proclamation that the South will rise again, which served as the catchphrase for the lost cause narrative that many Confederates spread after the Civil War was lost. Since the moon is replaced by the South in Futurama Season 11, it seems as if the moon may have lost a civil war with Earth, resulting to unhappy moon troops who have their own lost cause myth. Although the show Futurama never directly implies that there was a battle between the Earth and the moon, it's feasible given this joke and the moon's past. Here is all we know about the Earth-orbiting sphere, thanks to Futurama, which has divulged a surprisingly large amount of information about the moon's past. 1947 is the first time that lunar history deviates from reality. President Harry S. Truman comes in Area 51 in the episode Roswell that ends well, and while speaking with the military, he admits that the Apollo 11 moon landing was a hoax. Richard Nixon, president of the Earth, also made the bizarre claim that in 1969, an unidentified species of revolting onion men inhabited the moon. The 1,000 years that Fry was cryogenically frozen saw advances in space travel and the beginnings of lunar settlement. Rural farmers, like the one in Episode 5 of Season 11, really liked the moon, albeit they weren't the only ones who lived there. Although this is the only information about the moon's political organization that has been made public, Al Gore was its first emperor. The initial lunar landing location was forgotten by humans during this time of colonization, which led to the widespread belief that whalers were the first people to reach the moon's surface. Some companies have tried to make money from the inexpensive land since Earthlings have moved on to colonize other planets due to the relative emptiness and enormous surface area of the moon. Season 1, Episode 2 features Luna Park, a theme park on the moon that is similar to Disneyland and has imitations of several well-known Disney parks attractions. Mamazon is the most recent company to open a location on the moon, while it's possible that there are others as well. The hydroponic farmer and his fellow farmers seem to be the only permanent dwellers of the moon as of right now. It is revealed in the Futurama pilot that Fry is frozen from the year 1999 until the year 2999. While Fry was frozen, a lot of things occurred, but these are some of the most important. The central bureaucracy is founded, robots gain popularity, Earth runs out of petroleum and must turn to alternate fuel sources, and New York City's trash is sent into space during this period. Significant advancements are made in space travel as well, with the creation of spacecraft that can travel at the speed of light by Earth scientists. But in the year 2308, when an extraterrestrial invasion, which turns out to be a time-traveling bender, causes the first destruction of New York City, things really started to go south. The Earth enters the Second Middle Ages, a period identical to the medieval age of knights and queens, with old New York reduced to ruins. The second destruction of New York City takes place in the early 2500 seconds after the second coming of Jesus Christ in the year 2443. But soon after, work on New York starts, giving rise to the metropolis that is regarded as Futurama's primary setting. Mars University is established in the year 2636, and other celestial worlds like the Moon and Mars are colonized at the same time. At this period, the main and recurrent Futurama characters start to emerge, with Professor Farnsworth being born in 2841 and Robot Santa Claus being created in 2801. MomCorp is established in 2925, the famed land Titanic collapses in 2912, and robots start to reappear in 2928. Soon later, additional characters like as Leela, Amy, and Hermes are created, and the early 3000 seconds serve as the setting for the different tales told during the duration of Futurama.